Mrs. Piri, as a reporter, what you would say to people who say that Turkey recently is extremely far from European ideals and European values? How come that still there is a space of hope which is left to Turkey and Turkish people to join European Union one day?
I fully agree that Turkey is, I think, furthest away than ever of EU accession. There's not a single member in this House who thinks that this Turkey can become a member of this European Union. So let there be no doubt about it. That's also why we, because of the blatant human rights violations happening, that's why a majority in this House called for these accession talks to be stopped. I don't think you can stand more clear signal than that. However, there was an amendment by the far right and the EPP to go one step further, not only to say we stop these accession talks, but we want our EU leaders to state clearly that Turkey, not this Turkey, but Turkey as a nation, can never become a member of the European Union. I think this is a kind of a rhetorical game we are playing here with election time. For none of us, this Turkey can become a member of the EU, but I don't want to say for the next 10 or 20 years that Turkey cannot become again in a situation that we are talking about how we can integrate it inside the EU. Whether this will end up one day in a membership or not, that's really, that's way too far to even make any predictions about that.
Was it a bit of illusion that promise of membership can become a powerful tool for reform?
Well, yes, if you don't use the accession talks, then yes, and that's what we have seen. So, EU leaders have always been very divided. They started the accession talks with Turkey in 2004, but they always said, these talks are about accession, but we don't know whether this will lead to Turkey becoming a member of the EU, even if you fulfill all the criteria. Well, this is already, of course, not a big leverage for reforms. Then on the other hand, the most important tools in the hands of our EU leaders were to open negotiation chapters, for instance on fundamental rights, on the judiciary. For 10 years this parliament called on our leaders to do so, and they didn't. Not because of what was happening inside Turkey, but because of the Cyprus problem. And that's why it was always blocked to use the accession process as a leverage on Turkey. So I'm very sad that actually to be honest, we never really negotiated in all these years with Turkey about membership.
As a woman, what about gender equality? Do you think that really a country with Muslim tradition, with inequality between men and women, can ever become a member of European Union?
Well, I do think Turkey as a nation could ever become a member of the European Union. I would invite you to come to Istanbul and have a look. It looks much more pro-European than many of our EU capitals, sometimes in the East. I don't think your religion, which is separated from the state, there is at least still this separation in Turkey, although it's being blurred. I don't think that one person who believes in one God and another person who believes in another God have to be different when it comes to European values.
But what about Madame Erdogan? She's always demonstrating her religious beliefs.
Yeah, but she's not the head of state, right? She's a private person married to the president of Turkey. I'm not here to defend or attack the family members of President Erdogan. I'm here I don't have an opinion on President Erdogan's beliefs. I have a problem with his policies inside Turkey and how he is putting human rights defenders in jail, how Turkey has become the biggest public jail for journalists in the world. That's my problem, not the fact that this is a Muslim country, not the fact of its geographical location. So I haven't changed my mind. For me, Turkish population is just as European as other people, despite the basic religion of being a Muslim.